All right, you guys, if you are getting off into drop shipping or you are trying to set up a private label brand, maybe Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, this video is for you. If you're starting off, you probably have lots of questions. So hopefully this video kind of does the dirty work for you guys. Let's get into the video, you guys. Okay, so if you are brand spanking new, right? Step one is to apply and be approved for an Amazon seller account. Once you apply for an Amazon seller account, you're given two options, right? You could either do individual account or you could actually do a professional account. The difference is a professional account is $40 a month and the individual account is like $1 per item that you sell. Now, maybe you're lucky and as soon as you start with your Amazon seller account, you know, you're going way past 40 a month. If you are doing that, I would say immediately switch to a professional account. Do it right away if you're able to, because you will save money in the long haul. But if you have an individual account, you know, let's just say you have to pay Amazon $1 per unit that you sell. You sell 100 units, you're paying Amazon $100. Whereas if you're in a professional account, maybe you sold 100 units, but you only have to pay Amazon $40. So after you have exceeded 40 items, my suggestion is to switch over to a professional account. Professional accounts are nice because it also comes with certain perks that you'll get from Amazon, like the customer service and just a lot of, you know, business manager, business development manager and stuff like that. Like it's a lot of perks to actually having a professional account. But yeah, I would say to start, if you're just starting out, you don't really know how well your items are going to sell, I say just start off with an individual Amazon seller account, and then from there scale up to a professional account. Okay, step 3 is for you to do your product research. Before you actually do, you know, if you don't know exactly what items you want to sell, I would say not just, you know, sometimes just because you like purple barrettes doesn't mean that purple barrettes are going to sell well. It doesn't mean that, you know, purple barrettes are trending. So product research tools like Helium 10, Black Box, huge. It does cost. Just to start, I think it's like $100 a month. What I do like about the product research tools is that you don't have to use it every single month. You know what I mean? Like you might just want it for that initial phase of your product research, really deciding what product offering you want to have. So it's not necessarily like an ongoing reoccurring charge unless you make it that way. But from what I saw, I think it's like $100 monthly, which is rather expensive, but it's so worth it because Helium 10 Black Box is perfect. It's very specific to Amazon. You can actually, you know, type in whatever item, you can see, you know, who the players are, who the sellers are. You could actually see the amounts of money that they are making, you know, the revenue, the sales that they're making on those items monthly. You can see how long they've been in business with Amazon. You can see their reviews. You can see all of that. And that information is really helpful. You know, I would say if a product is a little too competitive or the competition is a little too fierce, maybe a brand that, you know, has 5 stars, they sold over 100,000 items with 100,000 5-star reviews. That might be a little, you know, and it's a lot of, you know, brands that are really like knocking it out of the ballpark. It might be a little hard to get specifically into that niche. So I say kind of target a product, a niche that is penetrable, meaning that, you know, maybe it has a high number of searches, of views, but maybe not a whole lot of, you know, merchants selling it. Maybe they haven't been around that long, but you'll be able to see all of that. The interface for Helium 10 Black Box for product research is excellent. It's very easy to use, very intuitive, and worth it. And don't look at it as something that you would have to pay every single month. But I would say definitely when you are in the product research phase, it's worth it. Invest, invest in your business, get the information that you need, and then you could, cancel later, sign on again when you're able to. Next to Helium 10 black box is Jungle Scout, which I've mentioned in a previous video before, but Jungle Scout is nice in that it also allows you to kind of peer in, spy if you want to, on your competition or other big players within your niche, or other sellers within your niche, and really see, products that are trending. Again, you're able to kind of get all of those, all the analytics, all competitors and products, and then from there be able to really kind of determine. You could also use the keywords, hashtags that your competitors are using for their trending products. Okay, that could be helpful to you. Number 4, which is very important, which is super important, is once you have, you've done your product research, you have been able to narrow it down to a specific niche, a specific product, then you want to create a mock listing within Amazon. And the reason you want to kind of create a mock listing, there are some products that are sold on Amazon that have certain requirements. You have to meet certain requirements before you're actually able to sell them. So it would really, really suck if you did your product research, you're like, that's the item, you are able to source your products, and you're ordering, whatever, I don't know, 150 or 1,000 units, customized units of that product, only to finally list it on Amazon, and then you find out that you can't, like the other requirements for listing or selling that product, you can't meet, or, like that would be really disappointing. Just kind of create a little mock listing for it and see if that is a product that you are allowed to sell on Amazon. Okay, so number 5 is, once you've done that, now you want to actually, depending on, and I'm going to leave some links down below so you guys can check out, there are different wholesale supplier options that you guys could use. Alibaba obviously is one of them, but because it is based in China, if you are a merchant in the US, sometimes those prices, shipping prices could really, skyrocket your price of your product, and that just, it's not a win-win. Hopefully they have a nice amount of reviews that you guys are able to see that, not only do they have a nice supply quantity, in their warehouse, but they also are getting good feedback from other merchants, other people that are buying from them, which you're going to be communicating with that supplier. And if the communication is crappy, meaning it's taking them a long time to get back to you for questions that you've asked, that to me is a red flag. Even if they have, the product, it kind of can foreshadow any potential issues you may have down the line. So you want to make sure that the wholesale supplier has excellent communication. First of all, you want to know, can they do your customization, which may be to add your logo, right? You want to find out, can they do your specific customization? Can they add your logo? If that's how you want it, can they add your logo to the product? What are their customization options for that? You want to find out, before you place a bulk order, you want to find out, can you get a sample? Will they provide you with a sample of that customized unit before you, make they might send it to you. Maybe you don't like the actual, now that you have it in your hands, you might not like the actual quality of it. Or you may see something else that maybe you'd like to have adjusted. So it's always a good idea to get a sample first before you place your bulk order. To back it up a little bit with the product research, not only, more than likely you may be selling something exactly like, your competition, only it has your logo on it. But you do want to find any way that, if there's a way that you could kind of improve the product, you want to find out, what are the reviews? What are the customers complaining about? And based off of the complaint, maybe there's some way that you could have your private label product customized in a way that kind of satisfies those complaints that customers are having on that similar product. So again, you're asking the supplier about the minimum order quantity, which is the MOQ. You're trying to find out, can you get a sample? If you have any adjustments or customized changes that you would like to have added to the product. Find out, can that supplier actually do that? Is that something that's doable? You want to find out what's the turnaround time, how quickly can they get that product back to you, or the bulk order, how soon can that be completed? Also, you want to find out what can they bundle with the product, right? Just to kind of add value to your product, you want to find out what can be bundled to your product. So let's say that you are selling baby bottles, okay? Well, maybe you could find a wholesale supplier that's not only selling baby bottles, but are also selling it along with a bottle cleaner, right? When it comes time to clean it, you know, the buyer doesn't have to go out and buy something completely separate. Your product, which now has added value, comes along with that bottle cleaner, right? So we want to find out as well from the wholesaler what can potentially be bundled with your product if you decide to execute a bulk order. All right, on number 6 by now. We should be on number 6. I apologize if I'm losing light, you guys. I was trying to work with the natural light, but it's all good. I'm not gonna stop and get the ring light out and stuff. It's all good. But number 6 is you're gonna find, okay, so let's say that there's, you know, different options too, you guys. Let's say that you have communicated with the wholesaler, the supplier, and you have found everything's perfect, it checks off, great. There are options that you could have for that wholesaler to ship it directly to an Amazon warehouse, right? So you don't have to worry about trying to receive some huge bulk order to your home or your apartment building or whatever. You could actually have that wholesale supplier to ship it directly to Amazon, and you know, the designated Amazon warehouse, so that it could be fulfilled by Amazon. But as you're creating a new listing for your new products, one of the questions you're going to be asked is the UPC, the Universal Product Code, which you're like, what is that? How do I get that? What is, I don't know. But there's actually a specific website that Amazon requires you to buy your UPC from. There are some resellers that sell UPC codes. You could probably buy one off of Amazon you could probably buy one, not off of Amazon. You could probably buy one off of eBay for $1 or something like that. But, Amazon don't play, and I would not chance it, you guys. You want to buy one specifically from gs1.org. But UPC codes typically cost $30, and you're going to need a UPC code per variant. Variant meaning a variation of the item. So if I have a shirt, right, it's one style, but that shirt comes in 2 colors, then I'm going to need 2 UPC codes for that shirt, right? I'm going to need a UPC code for the one in black, and I'm going to need one for the one that comes in white. So typically that's $60 that I'm paying for that specific unit. Okay, so UPC codes are required. You put that, it doesn't go directly onto the product, but it does go into the actual listing. Once you put that in there, all that, you're actually going to get an FN SKU code, literally FN SKU code from Amazon. And now that you could, if you do go the route where you have your supplier to ship it directly to the Amazon warehouse, then you want to make sure you supply them with the FN SKU code from Amazon so that they could place it directly onto each product. Because you just download it, Amazon is going to supply you with it, you download it, and just make sure that you supply your supplier, your wholesaler, with that, and have them to place it on to each item. Okay. Number 7 is once you create your product listing, you want to make sure that you have very professional photos, and you might be excellent when it comes to photos. Maybe you're a great photographer, but I would suggest to go the professional route, one called Outline-Matic. And there's probably many others out there, but I know Outline-Matic is supposed to be a really great one. But you want to make sure that you have some professional, clean, crisp photos that you are using. when you create your listing. Amazon also has certain requirements, like a nice clean, usually is preferred a nice clean white background. Typically they do not want the actual person in the photo. Like, you know, you might get like depending on what the object is, but usually like not full face photos is not allowed or recommended or whatever by Amazon. So you want to make sure that you select a you know, professional services when it comes to your product photos. The product photo is what's really going to differentiate you from your competition and hopefully help you to stand out. So I say, even though I think Outline Matic could run like 100 to 200 bucks, I think it's worth it because you're investing in your future potential sales. So super huge. And then again, you might want to use Helium 10 or Jungle Scout for the keywords. I think Amazon allows like 50 to 100 keywords that you're able to put in for your private label brand. I would say definitely take your time. You want to see what are some of the keywords, hashtags that your competition, your other, you know, sellers within your niche that are successful, what are they using? And you might want to use some of those same keywords, hashtags. Also, when you're writing out the actual product title, how many can you jam into that actual product title so that your product gets found? And then last but not least, so it's actually 7, you guys, so that's it. It's not 8, it's 7 steps, because I actually kind of spoke about this last step in a previous one. But I hope you guys find this helpful. Again, yes, we talk from the light, sun up to sundown. So, you know, the video probably has gotten lighter to darker right about now, but it's all good. I hope you guys found this helpful, useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, as well as leave comments down below. Let me know if you have any additional questions, or if you have more tips. You know, we're all learning. I always think it's nice that we kind of share what we know as we go. And that makes it a little bit easier for the next person that, you know, has to kind of figure it all out. Because sometimes we could get so frustrated, it makes us stop and pause, or sometimes just, you know, completely just walk away. So let's just keep going, you guys. And I will see you guys later. Bye.